my video about the Hazbin Hotel Season 2 trailer, one fan commented that Vox's building, especially once there was fire wrapped around it, looked a lot like the Tower of Babel. Freemasonry, of course, isn't just a fraternity, but it's rooted in masonry, as we said, the art of architecture and building, giving reason for Vox to have an interest in these big buildings on top of his control over TV. The Tower of Babel is a very interesting symbol for the season, as we know it's going to be about Vox trying to conquer heaven already, which mirrors the story of the Tower of Babel within the Bible. In the book of Genesis, the Tower of Babel is built after the Great Flood, with the descendants of Noah working together to make a tower that can reach the heavens. This angers the Old Testament God, who comes down to the earth and separates the people and gives them their unique languages so they can't work together as one people. If allowed to do so, humans would become as powerful as the gods, reaching the heavens where they dwell with their massive tower, which of course is just a metaphor for the power humans have to conquer and control the world itself. How with enough humans working together, even the entire planet can become their property that they control. The thing is that Masonry, being a fraternity passing down the tradition of architecture, has claimed that its teachings actually come from the Tower of Babel at certain points in its history. This is evident from some of their published writings, such as the History of Freemasonry by Robert Mackey. In this text, Robert Mackey compiled the existing poetry that had been passed down around the earliest Masonic lodges. Each poem is different and dated to a different century, but they all convey the same idea of these teachings of architecture being passed down from previous well-known myths and societies. This is important because, like Egypt, Babylon was one of the earliest cultures to have that fall and rise, or death and resurrection ritual, the way Egypt did with its god Osiris. In Babylon, the story was told with the initiate playing the goddess Inanna, also known as Ishtar, who would get trapped in the underworld and need to be rescued and restored. There is some debate about whether the Egyptian initiations or the Babylonian initiations came first, though the Bible points to Babylon and the Tower of Babel as being the key place where these themes and systems were first explored, a bit before Egypt's later establishment. Either way, both share the same story of death and resurrection, with both cultures having the construction of massive buildings, the Babylonian ziggurat, or the Tower of Babel, and the Egyptian pyramids. All of this connects Vox back to the in-world version of the Freemasons, a movement that others like Valentino called a cult, and which Vox saw as an attempt for humans to construct or elevate themselves above God. Now, Hazbin Hotel, of course, is releasing 2 episodes a week back to back, making it feel like an hour-long show.